Welcome to the Divine Gossip Podcast. I'm your host, Mackenzie Foster, a professional psychic medium, tarot reader, and spiritual mentor, here to provide you with the next steps towards your dream reality, along with clarity and deep validation while on your spiritual journey. I have an immense passion for all things paranormal, spiritual, and of course, having some super fun chats with incredibly knowledgeable people. In each episode, we will expand our minds, ignite our inner psychics, embrace our spiritual awakening journeys, and live a super grounded, witchy life. I hope you learned something new in today's episode. Okay, hello, and welcome back to the Divine Gossip Podcast. Oh my God, I'm literally never going to be not looking in this fucking viewfinder. As we can tell, maybe I sound different if you're on an audio platform, or maybe you're watching me on YouTube, and you can obviously tell that I finally have all my new equipment set up. Whoop whoop, hell yeah. I fucking finished it today, and I was like, I need to record a podcast episode. I'm finishing this today. I'm no longer taking time off from the podcast to like figure this out. It's 100% all set up. We have a brand new mic, a brand new camera. I even have a soundboard in front of me like I'm a fucking DJ. Like this is the real deal, okay? So, I'm gonna have to get used to the fact that you can see my slightly greasy hair and the occasional breakout, because this camera is actually insane and it can pick up the slightest of flaws. So, y'all are seeing the real me, okay? You're seeing the real me. It is here. She is here. I am here. It's happening. But welcome back to the pod. Oh my God. I feel like I maybe have taken like 2 weeks off. My life has been actually insane in the best way possible lately. I'm also just so happy to just have this set up because I feel so much more motivated and excited to record Divine Gossip with this whole new setup. Like I feel like professional and like it's the real deal, and I'm not just like winging it every week. You know what I mean? Like this is finally set up. So anyway, you'll have to let me know how you like it. How's the audio? How's the camera? Any suggestions? Don't be mean though. If you don't like it, I don't want to know. Only tell me if you like it. But I mean, obviously this is a work in progress. We're learning, right? I already kind of fucked up my mic. You can kind of see like where I fucked up the foam of it. So that's cute. Little imperfections here and there. We're working with it. Um, excuse me. Hopefully you guys won't be able to hear my burps more clearly because we all know when I channel, we're burping, right? Um, what else? I finally got the focus to be right. So if that goes in and out, sorry. I literally this is the best I can get it. So we're running on hopes and dreams quality wise, visual quality wise. So there's that. I'm also looking to the side because I can see myself in the viewfinder. And this is my monitor where I will be like reading my notes and stuff. So there's that. The main episodes of Divine Gossip are almost always scripted slash have an outline, except when I have a guest. Those are kind of like spirit leads the way kind of thing. But yeah, episodes like these, I'm gonna have an outline that I'm gonna be looking to my right to read. Um, so there's that. Yeah, I mean, any technical difficulties, we're gonna work through them. I am starting this whole thing in a Mercury retrograde shadow period, so fucking pray for me. But I think I did everything right. I think this is gonna go well. I'm very, very fucking proud of myself. And thank you to all of my peers and family members. The guy I'm seeing currently probably, hopefully, won't regret mentioning him in this episode. Um, I was like, we're recording, right? Yeah. He actually helped me a lot with the camera and a lot of stuff, which was really nice. And then my mom helped me with the rest. My dad helped me with a lot. Just every time I would get stuck, like one of them would help me. So I have a great community around me. I'm very well loved, and this is what it creates, my dreams, and I love them. So thank you to everyone who helped with all this setup, because it was weird and complicated at times. But now I feel like I know, like I'm literally like, call me for your IT issues. You know what I mean? Like I am the IT help desk. Um, no, don't call me actually, because setting this up, I never want to do this again. Like it wasn't that miserable, but I am just not a technology person, like a wires and like fucking production. I don't know. I know like Apple and how to work like Apple, and that's it. And like Google and my phone. Like give me an Apple product and we're good. Give me a Canon and a Rode mic and a Alesis Multimix 8 soundboard. You lost me, you know? Okay, so anyway, now that I've got that out of the way, oh goodness, life, yes. Like I said, life recently has been kind of insane. But quite literally have nothing to complain about. I feel like in I have completely up leveled my life and in every single area and every single aspect. And thank fucking God, because um I needed it. Why is my neck red? That's weird. See what I mean? I'm like, this is a whole mirror, and I know the lighting's a little weird, you guys. Just give me a break, okay? I can only do so much in one day. We'll fix the lighting eventually. I don't think it's that bad though. I think it's like giving cozy, because the lights are like yellow toned in here. Okay, anyway, Jesus. Um, yeah, I really up leveled my life like a lot. Like I said, in every way, in every area of my life, I genuinely feel like I have transformed into a better, stronger, more empowered, lighter version of myself. And I can't wait that's why I'm so happy to be back on the podcast, because I have so much to share about everything I've been experiencing, everything I've learned in this whole year, let alone these past like 4 or 5 months. Honestly, the last 6 months of this year have just been fucking insane. The first 6 months were also fucking insane. Um, but yeah, especially recently, it's definitely been a lot more positive, which thank fucking God. And yeah, I just have so much to share about all of that. So look forward to that, I guess. I don't really like plan out these episodes. Like I just kind of I like this morning I decided I want to talk about being the black sheep of the family. Like it's very much by my emotional wave and what I'm feeling that day and what lights me up in the moment. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to share, but I know that the fucking trials and tribulations, but also such joyful moments that I've experienced recently have taught me so much and have completely just up leveled me in every layer. So yeah, look forward to every episode from now on. Look forward to the whole podcast. Um, so yeah, today I want to talk about being the black sheep of the family. And I wanted to talk about this today because it actually came to me very randomly. I was just working on, I don't even remember what I was working on. I think it was something for school. Um, yeah, I think, yeah, it may have been something for school, but the random thought in my house just like playing music in my headphones, and I was like, what am I going to post today? And just have had that question in the back of my mind. And I decided, like, literally in the moment, so randomly, it was obviously a download from Spirit, if we want to get technical. But I just decided this like little like hook came into my head. They told me tarot was the devil's work and shamed me for embracing being a witch. So I went full time in my business as a psychic, guided hundreds of people and counting using tarot, and took a job as an in person spiritual mentor in my local community. Respectfully, fuck them, right? This download, this piece of my story that I wanted to use as content just was plopped into my brain today, and it inspired this whole like flashback journey in my head of like, wow, I really took, I'm gonna put my chair up real quick. Sorry if you hear that. hold on. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. That's way better. Okay, sorry guys. I just had to adjust my chair. Okay, so like I was saying, I started thinking, wow, I literally took my own parents, well, my father, not my mom. My mom was always supportive. We love her. I'll get more into that. But I literally took my father and his wife, my stepmom, my whole dad's side of my family, except my sister, and freaks online and religious trauma from childhood and a few old people on my mom's side. I took all of that, my blood, saying that I am practicing evil and I am what's wrong in the world and I am fucking with the devil and I don't know what I'm doing. I took all of those nasty, hateful words and I turned it into a full-time spiritual business and said fuck them. And I started thinking and I posted on Instagram and I was like, that feels good. It's getting great feedback. And I was like, you know what? Let's go deeper on this. Because not only did I completely go against what a lot of my family thought was traditional and what was the norm, right? Not only did I completely go against that, but I've been going against that like my whole life in every way. The term black sheep comes to mind because it's kind of the only like term I can use that like feels like it encapsulates what I'm talking about. But so to break that down, the black sheep of the family, what I think of it as is the person in the family that is abnormal, that is against societal norms, that is the different one. And you'll know if you're the black sheep of the family, if you feel like you never related to anyone else in your family, whether this be with like if your family has a set norm and they all follow it, but you decide to go against it, I think that considers you the black sheep of the family. And it's never not a negative connotation. And we'll get more into that. But I think that's what makes you the black sheep of the family. Now, this can be in a lot of different ways. So for me, it was obviously religion or my beliefs or my faith or whatever you want to call it. I went against the norm of what my family's spiritual slash religious beliefs and perspectives were. Um, and I chose that, but like I said in the like I said earlier, I feel like I was literally just born to do that and born to be that way because that's just who I am. It's not that we're rebelling or being like, ooh, so rebellious, like, oh my God, we're so bad. No, it's not about that. It's like we're literally just born with like different DNA. Like we're just fucking different. And that makes you the black sheep. So it can be in religious aspects. It can be your identity, your sexuality, your relationships, like your relationships, the way you go about your love life. It can be in so many different things. And the black sheep can feel very judged. They can, in if you're the black sheep of the family, I know I was, and I'll get into my story more, but if you're the black sheep of the family, you're being judged, you're being outcasted, whether that's just naturally or whether that's literally, like they literally kicked you out of the family. And I think it's so common in the spiritual space to experience this if you're a spiritualist or if you're a witch or if you're a psychic or you're intuitive and empath, whatever you want to call it. The witches they didn't burn, whether whatever title you want to call yourself, it is so normal to feel that way. I mean, unfortunately, like I wish it was more normalized, of course, but um, it's a really common experience. It's a really common experience um, for so many reasons. I mean, we can go into why spirituality is deemed to be abnormal or non-traditional or evil at times, or, like we can go into all that. But the black sheep of the family, my point with all of this is that we feel this way for a reason and we are this title and we hold this role in our family for a reason. Um, yeah, let me get water. That's the intro, babies. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Hopefully the audio's good. I'm so scared this is gonna be bad, but we're gonna put faith in my hard work. So there's that. That's what we're gonna be talking about today. So let's get a little bit more into it. So my own personal story with the role with being the black sheep. So it's so interesting because sorry, wait, I just got distracted. I'm not gonna do that right now. I was gonna look something up, but whatever. Um, I classify myself as the black sheep of the family. I really do. I feel like I feel like since I was little, I always looked around me and I just was always the girl in the room that was thinking a little bit deeper. That sounds like I'm calling people stupid. That's not what I mean. I'm just saying, like, I asked more questions. I asked why a lot. Like, something my mom has always told me is that the only time I was a really, really good kid, but the only time I was actually annoying was when I just asked why over and over again. Like she would answer something, and I'd be like, but why? And then she would answer that, and I'd be like, but why? And then she would answer that, and I'd be like, but why? You see what I mean? Like I was so curious my whole life since I was born. And I was also so sensitive. And I feel like the thoughts that I was thinking to myself, the way I observed people, the way I had social interactions with people, the way I reflected on myself, the way I was so self aware from a young age, I feel like people around me weren't like that. And there's a sense of maturity that you get from that. So my experience, and maybe you can relate to this, is I would be my whole entire life. I'm 20 years old right now. And every time I say that to people, and this has been like this my whole life, I could have been 9 or I could have been 20, how I am now. People are like, wow, you're so mature for your age. And I feel like that's because from such a young age, for some reason, I developed emotional intelligence very quickly and emotional awareness and self-awareness, but also like social awareness very quickly. Um, and anyway, so I think that makes us a little different, but I feel like the most interesting thing about that is our sensitivity and our intuition. Like I feel like a lot of black sheep of the family, excuse me, a lot of black sheep of the family people like myself were always the sensitive ones or always the intuitive ones or like always not the intuitive ones but more like the dreamers or like the hippies or like the head in the clouds, like you know what I mean, like just kind of open-minded, but it was deemed as like, ooh, she's a little out there, or anyway, a lot of us are very, very sensitive people, and I think this is kind of going into empath territory, right? When you grow up having these profound experiences, these like profound emotional experiences, but sometimes even spiritual experiences. And what I mean by that is not everyone knows what it's like to like be out in public and be super overwhelmed by a crowd of people because you just feel everyone's energy and it's so overwhelming at once. And not a lot of people understand what it's like to have a dream and then it happens in real life, like a premonition. Now, not everyone knows what it's like to see dead people when you're little. You know what I mean? Like we grow up having these profound, unique experiences that society has deemed as like weird or out of the normal or we're crazy, but it's really because we're special and we have these gifts for a reason. um and I think that's kind of the spiritual black sheep of the family that I'm talking about. And guess now that I'm talking about it, there are two different types of black sheeps. um I think there's a specific kind of spiritual person black sheep of the family, and then there's like a like normal black sheep of the family. I don't know, that was kind of, what's that called, an oxymoron, a normal black sheep of the family. I don't think you can be normal if you're the black sheep, but you know what I mean? Like it's not just like, oh, like there's a type of black sheep in the family where your whole family could be doctors and you're the only one that decided to like start your own business instead. Like you would be the black sheep of the family, right? Or like if you felt that way, if you identified that way, like it's, I can't just tell you you're the black sheep of the family. I feel like you do have to like feel that way yourself, you know? But then there's also like the spiritual black sheep of the family where you did have those spiritual experiences and you did like religiously stray away from your family, if that makes sense. I feel like there's different kinds, right? And I can touch on all of them because I feel like I've experienced all of them. Like I'm starting my own business, going to college online. I am a psychic medium and tarot reader. I have a pot, like, you know what I mean? Like I'm in a lot of different areas. I'm the black sheep. So maybe it's just one for you. Maybe it's a lot of them. But anyway, I'm coming from a place where like my whole life I'm the fucking black sheep. You know what I mean? So yeah, yeah. Okay. So yeah, I also want to talk about why, like more of why I want to bring this up. I think it talking about and embracing and learning to embody and learning to accept that you're the black sheep of the family and actually making that your fucking superpower because it literally is. It was always made to be. Um, is super this that's super important to talk about all of that in this spiritual space because if you are a spiritual black sheep of the family, you I'm gonna change the episode name to being this the spiritual black sheep of the family. There we go. Um, you feel alone at times. You feel so alone at times because, of course, you do. Like, of course, you feel alone because you're different. You're special. You're not meant to be like everyone else. You're not meant to have like a million people around you because you just relate to everyone because you just fit in like so good. Like, no, your life is meant to be special. It's meant to be different. It's meant to be never seen before, spectacular, amazing, non-traditional. Like that's how your life is meant to be. That's why you've always felt different. That's why you identify with the black sheep of the family role. And I think once you start to understand that by getting in spaces where there's people who can relate to your story or healing your limiting beliefs and childhood trauma or whatever you feel like you have holding you back, like healing that, embracing that role. Like I lost my train of thought, but you know what I mean. This talking about this instead of feeling like an outcast and feeling like you are so abnormal and so different. Why can't I just be like everyone else? Why is my life especially unique and different and maybe even harder at times than other people's? It's because you're meant to embrace who you truly are and who and you're supposed to embrace breaking outside of societal norms so that you don't feel that way anymore. You're supposed to embrace it. You're supposed to love it. You're supposed to love that part of yourself or parts of yourself or love yourself in general. Love that you're different and make money off it too while you're at it, like I did. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally fucking kidding. It is not about the money on my life. If I was doing it for the money, no. Here, that's actually really quick. Let me just side tangent for a little bit. I got a tarot reading the other day from this other reader in my area who's at an event I was doing. And I sat down and got a tarot reading with her. And she was like, you feel like an imposter sometimes because you feel like you're ingenuine or people aren't going to like you or people are just going to think you're fake, think you're not know don't know what you're talking about or think you're just in it for the money scamming people. And I was like, yes, I do have those limiting beliefs. Kind of not really there anymore, but in the beginning that was very strong, those limiting beliefs. Okay, sorry guys. The camera just like shut off and stopped recording. So I'm gonna wrap this episode up soon, because I gotta fix that. But anyway, like that's scary. I don't like that it did that, but it's fine. We're gonna move on. Like I was saying, she was like, "Girl, if you were in it for the money, if you were in it for the money, you wouldn't be doing tarot. Like you would be doing something else. Like tarot is not traditionally like a doctor's salary. You know what I mean?" And I was like, yeah, I mean, if I was a millionaire, I would still be reading tarot for me and other people. Like it is a genuine love for the art. Um, but yeah, so specifically, that is where my journey took me is I was told tarot is the devil's work. I was told that I can't be different. I was told that I can't embrace this. I can't be comfortable with this new talent and this new belief of mine. You know what I mean? Like I was completely and utterly shamed for it. And I chose to embrace it anyway. And look where it's got me because I chose to listen to my intuition and not other people's opinions about something they know nothing about. And something I've learned is that the more you get to know yourself, the more you know, the more you know the things you love. The more you get to know yourself, the more you know the things you love. And the more you know the things you love, the more you know not to take advice from people who don't love the things that you love too. Like if someone's building their life off of the fact that they think and they love God or they love church, so they're going to go be a pastor, like you don't want to be a pastor. You don't believe in God. So you're not going to make your whole life based off that. Like don't listen to, and then the pastor is telling you, oh, you're doing this wrong. You can't follow what you're going to do. You don't want to be a tarot reader. You don't want to be a business owner. Like, don't, what my point is like, don't listen to people's advice that you wouldn't want to be where they are. You know what I mean? So, anywho, yeah. Moving on. So, and I think, oh my God, yeah. Now that I think about it, in I would say like 2022, I really started to play around with the idea of accepting being misunderstood. And that was really hard, especially because I'm such a like stubborn, what? I'm such a stubborn, determined person where if I think I'm right, then I want you to think I'm right too. And if I think I'm if I think I'm I don't know. If I think I'm right, then I want you to think I'm right too. Like I would try to convince people that I knew what I was doing, that I was right and they were wrong. I wanted them to know, like, no, you're actually wrong and I'm right. And over time, I let people think I'm wrong. I just let people think that I'm someone I'm not. I let people misunderstand me. And sometimes, yes, obviously I stand up for myself. Obviously, try to correct, I try to bring the truth of the matter into a situation that is about myself, of course. But when it comes to my purpose in this life, when it comes to my career, when it comes to what I love doing, and when it comes to a genuine love that I have for my spirituality, do you think I'm gonna fucking need you to understand me? No, I don't need you to understand me. I don't need you to validate me. I don't need you to validate my journey that you don't even know how to begin yourself. I don't need you for that, And I think I really, really absorbed that about a year ago. And it started with my parents first, of course. I didn't need my dad to understand what I do. I didn't even need my mom to understand what I do. Um, I didn't need these people to understand what I do. And that was the hardest one because obviously you want your parents to approve of you and you want your family to approve of you. But really coming to terms with the fact that they are just different people and they are probably obviously as stubborn as me. They're not going to change their beliefs about me. And frankly, what they think in their own heads and their own reality is none of my business. It's none of my business. And my reality is none of their business, and their reality is none of my business. And if their reality is that they don't like me and they don't approve of me and what I do, period. Out of sight, out of mind, though. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care because I'm gonna do what I love because I know me and I know me what makes me happy. And just because it makes you unhappy doesn't mean it doesn't make me happy. The fuck? But y'all see that? Have y'all seen that TikTok trend where they sit there? I'm gonna do that to my mom, actually. Actually, let's write that down. I'm gonna do that to my mom. Have y'all seen that TikTok challenge where they sit their phone in front of their parents and every sentence they say the fuck after? And the parents are like, why the fuck do you keep doing that? It's so funny. Um, anyway, yeah. So a big, big lesson I learned was that it's okay to be misunderstood. It truly is. And actually, being misunderstood, use that as a motivator to go after what you want a million times stronger and a million times faster. Use that, use people's misunderstandings as you of you Use people's misunderstandings of you as your fuel to do what they fucking hate. Seriously, it works because us determined, stubborn people that know what the fuck they want, that are fueled by that black sheep of the family feeling, we're stubborn and determined enough to piss people off too, right? This is the Aries in me talking. I'm like, cut off their heads, prove them wrong. No, not really. But yeah, yeah. And everyone has their own journey too. Like if you're at a place where you feel very ostracized by your community or by your family, and you do feel like a black sheep and you're kind of on the shadow side of that, where it does feel very lonely and dark at times and unmotivating and unloving, frankly, if you're in that phase, know that you are on your own journey. Take it from me, who is in the same exact place as you. You are on your own journey, and it may take days, it may take weeks, it may take years for you to feel a sense of belonging. But I promise, when you feel it, it's going to be so worth it. And it's going to be genuine. It's going to be everything you deserve. You are going through this now so that you know the feeling of being genuinely supported and genuinely loved by cool ass people who match your freak. You're going to know that feeling 10 times stronger than anyone else in the whole wide world because you're going through what you're going through right now of being misunderstood. Stay strong through it. Be open minded to the lessons and the trials and the tribulations that the universe is giving you through this. And just know, from me, from someone who felt the exact same way, I am now going from outcast to empowered. And I did it all by myself. So you can too. Okay. Okay. Looking at my notes here. Yeah, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Yeah, yeah. And I'm not saying this to like shit on the fam, right? I'm not saying this to shit on my family. They're doing the best they can too. It is their first time as themselves in this life, as it is my first time being myself in this life. It's their first time living too, okay? It is. It is. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, I think I kind of covered everything. I hope this helped you guys. So when I think of like the Mackenzie Collective and how this topic comes into play with what I do, this is my experience coming into play, right? This is what I bring to the table as a mentor of yours or as a reader of yours. I have all of this life experience and lessons built up inside of me and all these experiences and huge transformations that I've been through so that I can guide you through yours. So I can guide you through your awakening and your transformation. And so I can give you guidance based on where you're at with my knowledge and my expertise and my gifts that I've fully embraced and that I'm just embracing more and more every day and getting stronger, stronger every day at. So this is why I share these experiences is so that when you come into my world, when you come into the Mackenzie Collective, this is the knowledge and wisdom that you're getting. And if these resonate with you, working with me will resonate with you and transform your life even stronger than just listening to the podcast. First of all, the Soul Guidance membership is a great affordable place to be. It's only $33 a month and you get bonus episodes of the podcast. So after this, I'm going to be talking about more personal stuff and in depth in the after show episodes that the Soul Guidance membership gets. You get weekly readings from me. You get monthly Q&A calls with me with one-on-one connection. And you also get access to an exclusive like community group chat with me whenever you need support. That is the membership. I also have a free Discord space called the Enchanted Portal where I do Motivation Mondays. I update you guys in there, exclusive offers, Q&As, resource sharing. That is the Enchanted Portal, my free Discord. Feel free to join that. I would love to see you in there. Make sure you're following the Instagram and TikToks of the Mackenzie Collective and the Divine Gossip Podcast. It's at Divine Gossip Podcast. It doesn't have a the in it. Please rate and review the podcast. I know I say all of us in the outro, but if you're like me, I don't really listen to outros of podcasts, but sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So anyway, I just wanted to get in there now. Yeah, everything that I want you to check out and that I really truly think will help you with where you're at in your journey, I'll link it all below. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me and for listening, taking the time today to connect with me and my voice in my journey. I love you so much, and I'll see you next Tuesday. If you enjoyed today's episode, please make sure to rate and review Divine Gossip on whatever platform you listened in on. Head to themackenziecollective.com to work with me further. If you have any questions or have any topics you want me to cover or any guests you want me to have on, please email all of that to info@themackenziecollective.com or go to the episode description to fill out my Google form. I love you. Thank you for listening. See you in the next episode.